All right, guys, now we are at Klick Chevrolet here in Palmyra, right next to Hershey, and I'm here to talk about a Corvette. Just joking, I got the keys to a brand new Blazer. Check it out, the new Chevy Blazer. Now, if you're like me, I'm sure that when you hear the word Blazer, you picture something like this. Or maybe something like this. Or maybe even something like this. Those are the old Blazers. Now, I will admit, the K5 Blazer is one of the coolest vehicles, in my opinion, of all time. As you guys know, I'm a truck guy. I love trucks. I think the K5 is freaking awesome, and I want one. Actually been looking for one as kind of a project for a while. But the new Blazer is here, and it's definitely a stark departure from the old one, which a lot of people, I know, was met with criticism right off the bat. People saying, you know, we wanted an off-road Blazer. We wanted something like the K5. But that just isn't really too realistic in today's world. Chevy needs a vehicle they can sell to a lot of people, not just a few people who want, you know, big truck-based off-roader. And I think the new Blazer, say what you want about the car overall, or the SUV, whatever you want to call it, I think this one looks fantastic. Basically, to me, it looks like a Camaro in SUV form. You look at the front end, looks very aggressive, very angry it looks. I love how the hood kind of comes down, and this looks like an angry eyebrow. The lighting is really, really cool. Blacked out bow tie on the front, the big front grille in all black as well. Now, this is the RS model. As you can see, you can get the base, the RS, you can get the Premier. Premier has chrome all over it, which I definitely prefer the blacked out look. But yeah, I mean, overall, I don't think anybody could say this car is, I guess some people could find it not attractive, but I really think it's a great design. But before we get inside the Blazer, I do want to touch on the outside one more time. I think everything about it is really cool. I love the way the back window line runs into the hatch, the tail light design, and the wheels are great as well. 21-inch wheels on the Blazer in all black, of course, to match, you know, the rest of the way this particular one is optioned. Black Blazer badges on the side too. So the way everything on this one, where it's all blacked out, looks really, really great to me. And getting inside, from the second you open the door, you're met with a level of quality that I have to say is really refreshing for GM. Now, this is a little bit of an expensive vehicle, which we'll talk about, but it actually feels really, really good. And you know, it feels better than most GM vehicles have, and I think they really stepped it up for the Blazer. I mean, they were not lazy with this car. It wasn't just simply like, oh, we'll build another crossover and put the Blazer name on it. Like, they really put a lot of time and effort into this vehicle, and I think that's why, maybe one of the reasons why they felt comfortable bringing back the nameplate. We're gonna go over the window sticker like I always like to do on these reviews. So mechanically, we got a 3.6 liter V6 dual overhead cam, of course. Now, this thing produces 305 horsepower, which is actually a pretty solid amount for kind of a family mid-size SUV. More than enough to get it moving and more than enough to have fun. Anti-lock brakes, teen driver mode, it's got keyless open and start, all that stuff that everybody knows new vehicles have. Standard wheels are 20 inches. We have 21s on this bad boy. Headlamps, high intensity discharge, daytime running lamps, LEDs, glass, deep tinted. Mirrors, outside heated, power adjustable manual folding mirrors, body color with integrated turn signal indicators. Roof rails in black, the power lift gate in the back, we'll talk about that too. Interior remote start, the air conditioning, all that good stuff, heated seats, power outlet. OnStar surfaces capable, Sirius XM, voice recognition, Bluetooth, 4G, LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. And like we talked about briefly, the options on this one, the sun and wheels package, it comes with the sunroof, the power panoramic roof, tilt sliding with power sunshade, and the 21-inch gloss black wheels. Standard price on the Blazer is $40,600. This one comes out to $44,330, which is a lot. You know, by the time you're done with everything else, taxes, you're looking at 50 grand. But again, it really does feel like a very high quality vehicle, and it comes with a lot, which I think when you look at everything, it's got to be worth that price. Right when you sit in the Blazer, you are met with a great driver position. You get to look at this really awesome screen. The graphics are fantastic. You can scroll through all the different options. You can set whatever you want on there. And I think it's, again, a really great departure from past Chevrolet vehicles, even from, you know, even other vehicles in the lineup this year. The graphics are on really a different level, and it kind of brings Chevrolet into the modern era. I mean, this setup can compete with anything on the market today. The wheel is also heated, which is wonderful if you're like me and you live in Pennsylvania and it's 30 degrees and raining all the time. Infotainment center, pretty standard GM, but I think it's a good system. It's one of the best ones on the market. It's easy to use, easy to navigate. You can get in there and you can look at your navigation. Speaking of that, you can adjust your vehicle lighting, how the car, when you turn it on automatically, what it does. So you can really adjust a lot of different things about the vehicle for your own preferences in the infotainment center within those settings. Shifter is pretty standard. You got park, reverse, where the camera comes up, neutral, drive, and then L, which you might not be used to seeing. The L is not for lose. No, you crazy Fortnite kids. The L is for low range, because not only is the Blazer built for the road, where 99% of people are going to use it, but it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. You can off-road a little bit too. The really nice thing is the metal engraved RS piece underneath the plastic piece where you grab, and then the plus and minus button on the side is for shifting yourself. Inside, the Blazer has plenty of room, plenty of storage space, as you would expect, with more USB ports for your phone. It even has a little phone holder in the middle, along with the cup holders and this nice piano black finish on the console. Right by your shifter, you will find your little driving mode dial, I guess we'll call it, next to the parking sensor button. You have your normal driving mode, you have your snow driving mode, and your sport driving mode. You can choose whichever one works best for you. One other little tidbit of info on the inside is the glove box button, and yes, it is a button, not a pull tab or something on the glove box itself, but it is located right next to and is the same size as the traction control button. So I guess Chevrolet figures you'll be using the traction control button and the glove box button basically the same amount of time, which makes sense because you turn off your traction and you're doing donuts and then you get arrested or pulled over and you have to open your glove box. Makes perfect sense. I get it. Back to the price. I mean, yes, it's kind of creeping up on 50 grand. Well, not really, because taxes, are going to bring it up, but that's for every vehicle. You can't help that. It really has a lot, though, for what you're paying. It's got heated seats, a heated steering wheel. It's got low-range all-wheel drive. It can go off-road. It's very capable. You can use it in any climate. It's big. It's got plenty of storage space. It has tons of features. So when you put it all together, really, I mean, that's all stuff you have to pay a lot of extra money for in other vehicles. The Blazer comes with almost all of it. One intriguing fact on the door, it's pretty normal until you get to this part. It's got a handle, lock and unlock button, your mirror controls, window controls. But then you get down here, and you see it says max 3/4 and off, and that is for your lift gate. So you can set the lift gate for whatever level you want it to raise. It can be higher, lower, for whatever purpose, for what you're loading. And a great feature that Chevrolet has introduced to make things easy, not unlike Ford, I have to say, I have to give Ford credit. I haven't seen anybody else do this before them, but you can walk up to the back of your Blazer and you can put your foot underneath it right by the Chevy bow tie light. That's to indicate where you put your foot if you're carrying something, and the back will open for you. Really, really nice, really convenient, and I think every vehicle should have that. It's really kind of a no-brainer. Let's say that you don't want to do that. Maybe you don't have feet, maybe you don't want to use them. Whatever the case may be, there are 3 other ways to open the hatch. There's a button up front, there's a button on the hatch itself, and of course the key fob. Double tap, and she'll come right up, which exposes the rear end of the Blazer. Now, underneath the regular storage floor, you have more compartments along with a spare tire, and you can see on the storage floor, it has a neat little rail system. Now, I'm told it has lots of things in this bag where you can set it up for your rail system, and you can have dividers and all kinds of things, and tie downs. You can see it also has tie downs right here for whatever you're carrying, which is neat. Now, I'm not going to open this because, quite frankly, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'll let the owner of the car do that. But that's cool. It comes with its own built-in rail system, and, that's something that more cars could have, too. One of the best things about the rear end of the Blazer and storing things inside of it and carrying things around, if it's going to be your daily driver and you got to move stuff, you know how you can fold the seats flat in a lot of vehicles. These fold flat, too. You can have a totally flat area back here. But you know how most cars, you got to search for like a pull tab down in the seats and you can't find it and it's buried underneath stuff, and maybe there's a lever down at the bottom. This is so easy. It's right here in the back, and you pull this and your seat is flat. The lever is easy to access. You can do it from the back. A lot of cars, if you're loading stuff and you're back here and you say, oh, well, it won't fit, I got to put my seats down. You got to walk all the way around, and then you got to pull the tab on the seat. So that's dumb. Or you have to try to reach all the way back in here, and you got to climb half in the car to reach it. This is a great system. Well done, Chevrolet. The best feature by far, and my favorite, I think I touched on it briefly, but it is in fact the panoramic roof. It's beautiful. I wish all cars offered this, and I'm glad the Blazer does. It lets in a lot of natural light when you're driving. Really cool going down the road for you, and it also has a sunroof, of course operated by buttons up by the rear view mirror. But that is a great feature. I freaking love the panoramic roof. And after you're done loading all your Costco items in the back, go ahead and press the engine stop start button and listen to that V6 roar. All right, guys, setting off in the Blazer. Nice feel. Feels like most new cars right off the bat. Feels good. Everything feels nice and solid. Smells good. New Chevrolets, I will say about the brand, Chevys, they all smell really good. I mean, all new cars smell good, but Chevys especially smell nice. They have a nice smell to them. These are things you think about when you're a crazy person. But the Blazer, I really like. I like the seating position. Yes, I know the washer fluid is low. We haven't been PDI'd yet. This thing is really nice. This is one of the best, just going by the inside so far and the features, this is one of the best new vehicles I think GM has made in a really long time. Oh yeah, that shift is really good. Just getting into it a little bit there. This, you know what, I'm gonna go straight. This V6, you know, 305 horsepower might not sound like a whole lot in today's terms when every sports car has like 700. But it's more than enough. Oh yeah, and that shit, oh my God, that shift is really nice. The Blazer's quick. The Blazer is no joke. And I really like the way, you can tell they definitely made it to be sporty, and we're normal mode right now, not sport mode. But they definitely made it to be like very responsive. They definitely made this car to be fun and quick. The ride quality is good. The steering feel is good. The responsiveness is really nice, like I said. So I mean, it's a new car. It drives like most new vehicles would. But I really like the power delivery. This is like this. You know what this is? This is a mid-size SUV for people that actually like to drive and actually want an interesting, fun vehicle. That's what it is, and that's probably why they brought back the Blazer name, because they wanted to convey that to people, and they wanted people to know it's not a normal mid-size boring SUV. It's really not. Like, this is actually something different. There it is, guys, the brand new, the all-new 2019 Chevrolet Blazer. And yes, again, you know, it might not be the truck-based little off-roader that a select group of people wanted, but I think it is going to be a really great selling mid-size SUV that a lot of regular people are going to want and buy. Huge thank you to Klick Chevrolet here in Palmyra. This is actually, fun fact, if you're an OG of the channel, I filmed a Colorado review here about 4 years ago, which, you know, I had no subscribers at the time, so I appreciate them. And this car, this Blazer right here, is available. They're pretty hard to get, so if you want one, come down here, check them out. Check out my man Mike. I'll put his info down below, and here's his card on the screen. His info there. Definitely check out a Blazer.